Captain Marcus Chen stood at the observation deck of the horizon's edge, watching the swirling nebula outside paint the darkness in shades of violet and gold. 3 years into humanity's first deep space expedition, and he still wasn't used to the loneliness that came with command. The door hissed open behind him. He didn't need to turn around to know who it was. The distinctive click of talons on metal flooring gave her away. "You're up late, Commander Syrinx," Marcus said, his reflection meeting hers in the reinforced glass. The dragon woman moved beside him with that peculiar grace her species possessed, all coiled strength and predatory elegance. Her scales caught the nebula's light, shimmering between deep crimson and burnished copper. The Drakari were among the most feared warrior races in the known galaxy, and Syrinx was one of their finest strategists. Having her as his second in command had been both an honor and a constant reminder of how far humanity had come in just 50 years of interstellar politics. "Sleep doesn't come easily tonight," Syrinx replied, her voice carrying that melodic rumble unique to her kind. "Tomorrow's negotiations with the Confederation will determine whether your species gets a seat at the council table or remains a curious footnote in galactic history." Marcus allowed himself a tired smile. No pressure. Then Syrinx's amber eyes studied him with an intensity that made him acutely aware of every scar, every gray hair he'd earned in 42 years of living. The Drakari could live for centuries. At 90 years old, Syrinx was barely considered mature by her people's standards. Yet she looked at him like he was something precious and fleeting, shooting star visible for only a moment before burning out. "You should rest, Captain," she said softly. "You'll need your strength." "I could say the same to you, Commander." A pause stretched between them, heavy with words neither had dared to speak in the 2 years they'd served together. Professional boundaries were sacred aboard a military vessel, especially one carrying the weight of humanity's future on its hull. Syrinx turned to face him fully, her 7-foot frame towering over his 6 feet. In the dim lighting, her features seemed softer, almost vulnerable. "Marcus, I need to ask you something, and I need you to answer honestly." He'd never heard her use his first name before. Something in his chest tightened. "All right, is there room in your bed?" The question came out in barely more than a whisper, yet it crashed through the observation deck like a shockwave. Marcus felt his breath catch. Among the Drakari, such directness was the ultimate show of trust. No games, no political maneuvering, just raw honesty laid bare. He knew what she was really asking. "Can you accept me? Can you see past what I am to who I am?" The smart answer, the captain's answer, would be to deflect, to preserve the chain of command, to think of his career and the mission. But as he looked into those amber eyes, he realized he was tired of being just a captain. He was tired of being alone in the darkness of space, carrying everyone's hopes but his own. "What if you stayed forever?" The words left his mouth before his brain could stop them. Syrinx's eyes widened, her pupils dilating into vertical slits. "Marcus, my lifespan, I know," he interrupted gently. "You'll outlive me by centuries. You'll watch me grow old while you're still in your prime. But every species in this galaxy seems to think that's a reason for us not to connect, not to care about each other. Maybe that's why they're all so damn lonely." He stepped closer, close enough to feel the warmth radiating from her scales. "Humans have a saying, it's better to have loved and lost, than never to have loved at all. We're a young species, Commander. We probably don't have the wisdom of the Drakari or the longevity of the Sith, but we do know how to live in the moment, how to make every second count because we know how precious and brief they are." Syrinx's hand, scaled and clawed but remarkably gentle, reached up to touch his face. "Your species is insane," she murmured, but there was wonder in her voice. "You burn so bright, so fast, with no regard for the pain it will cause." "Maybe," Marcus agreed, "but I'd rather burn with you than fade away alone. However much time we have, whether it's a year or 40 years, I want to spend it with you. And when I'm gone, you'll carry that forward. Isn't that what makes life meaningful? The connections we forge, the love we give, even when we know it's temporary." A sound escaped Syrinx that might have been a laugh or a sob, he wasn't sure. Her other hand came up to cup his face, her talons remarkably careful against his fragile human skin. "The Galactic Confederation thinks humans are reckless," she said. "They think you're too emotional, too impulsive, too willing to risk everything for something as intangible as hope or love." "And what do you think?" Marcus asked. Syrinx leaned down, her forehead touching his Drakari gesture of ultimate intimacy and trust. "I think they're terrified of you," she whispered. "Because you're right. They've lived so long that they've forgotten how to truly live. They've become cautious, stagnant, afraid of the pain that comes with caring too much. But you humans, you remind us of what we've lost." Marcus closed his eyes. breathing in her scent like cinnamon and ozone, exotic and intoxicating. So is that a yes? Will you stay? Forever is a long time, Marcus Chen, Syrinx replied, pulling back to look into his eyes. But I find myself wanting to try. You've shown me that quantity of years means nothing without quality of life. And these past 2 years with you, they've been more alive than the 90 that came before. Marcus smiled, genuinely smiled, for the first time in months. Then let's make history together, Commander. Not just for humanity's seat at the Confederation, but for ourselves. Syrinx's answering smile revealed rows of sharp teeth, but in her eyes was nothing but warmth. Together, she agreed, for however long we have. As they stood in the observation deck, two beings from worlds apart, they represented something the galaxy hadn't seen in millennia: the courage to love despite inevitable loss, to burn bright despite the coming darkness. It was the most human thing imaginable, and perhaps that was exactly what the universe needed. The nebula swirled on outside, indifferent to the small miracle unfolding within the horizon's edge. But in that moment, Marcus and Syrinx had already won their most important battle, the one against loneliness and fear. Tomorrow they would face the Confederation. Tonight they would face each other, and that was enough.